you see it, 26, snowing, 9-degree wind chill, and the winds are steady at 30, gusting to 40. Hello, friends. Jim Nance, Phil Simms. What a day this is going to be to watch.
Well, I hate to say it's going to be fun to watch it. The elements, how you deal with it. To me, today, the coaches will have so much in determining the outcome. The decisions they make. Like Chicago, they want the win behind their back to start this game. When to try the long field goals. How you manage the football game could be a big deterring to who's going to win.
Well, it's been snowing since the middle of the night. And the Bears, as you mentioned here, all about coaching decisions. Bears defer. I'd like to welcome many of you just joining us here, getting set at Soldier Field for Chicago and New England. The wind chills at 9 degrees. Wind steady, Phil, at 30, gusting to 40. We've been watching it here. We've been here for 5 hours, just swirling around. You see these squalls at times just kick up the snow off the ground, and it's almost like whiteout conditions at times. Robbie Gould sends it down to the Patriots, to Sammy Morris. And Morris able to get a good piece of running. And Tom Brady comes out after back-to-back 4-touchdown performances, putting up 45 points in each of the last 2 games, 17 touchdowns since he last threw an interception. His line and his offense so far improved since Logan Mankins ended the holdout. Meanwhile, Deion Branch, he's been on a roll too. The old favorite target of Brady back, and it looks like old times. So from the 31 of the Patriots, Brady comes out shotgun. It'll be interesting to see what kind of day it'll be like for the passers. As Brady goes underneath to Welker for the short completion. We are 1 play into the game here. A 2nd down and 3 coming up for the Patriots. On 1st down, they hit Welker for 7 yards. It's Green Ellis stacked up in a hurry by a whole slew of Chicago defenders, including Brian Urlacher. This Chicago defense, Phil, is so much improved since Julius Peppers came over in the offseason from Carolina. Urlacher is healthy this year. Briggs is too. They are without Tino Isamoa today, out with a knee. Tillman, the last time these two tangled 4 years ago, picked off Brady 2 times. Brady in a throwing down here on 3rd and 6. In traffic, spins away, but not this time. And the Bears force the 3 and out. Donahue and Urlacher combine on the hit on Brady.
The Chicago Bears defense, they believe this front 4. Donahue to the outside. Julius Pepper stops Tom Brady for stepping up. But they believe their front 4. If you don't chip our defensive ends, if you don't help out those offensive linemen, we are going to get to Tom Brady today.
A sack that cost the Patriots 3 yards. Zoltan Mesko on one hop down to Hester. Now trying to reverse field in the slippery conditions and pointing for a block. He's got it. Hester with a good return, and he's out of bounds near midfield. Pushed out by Ninkovich. 38-yard punt, 16-yard run back.
Well, you don't want to punt the football to Devin Hester. Bill Belichick said it. I don't know if you have a choice today. The weather, the conditions, the punters, they cannot control it the way they hope. And Devin Hester, looks like the snow and the slippery field doesn't slow him down too much.
I thought he's making a mistake at first, Phil, when he decided to turn around and go to the other side.
He's one of those guys, Jim, when he reverses the field, even the coaches don't go, oh, no, they go, okay, this might work, because his success rate has been phenomenal over the years.
Bears first snap from their own 46. Matt Forte, patient on that right side, picks up about 3. Well, Jay Cutler really starting to get plugged in with this Mike Martz offense. Better by the week. Very efficient the last month. They've won 5 in a row. Chicago did not lose in the month of November. And winning last week against Detroit as well. Krutz, 13 years, the center for that Chicago offensive line. And Johnny Knox on pace for a 1,000-yard season. Second-year man out of Abilene Christian. So 2nd and 7. Chicago from the 49. They'll run it again. Forte to the New England side, and he's near a first down. Maybe a yard short. That New England defense, what a performance on Monday night against the Jets. It all came together. They got the veteran Wilfork right there on the nose. So many young guys out there. There's Guyton, who steps in for Brandon Spikes, who violates the league rule on 4-game suspension coming up for Spikes. And you saw also McCourty, who's had picks in each of the last 3 weeks. There's 3rd and 1 coming up. 3rd and 1, and Forte is tackled for a loss. Ninkovich comes up, and McCourty also loses 2.
Yeah, there you go. Devin McCourty, defensive backs for the Patriots and the Bears. You better be able to tackle. And that time, Devin McCourty just did a nice job navigating the turf, not slipping, under control, gets back there and stops the first down.
Wes Welker will try to return the punt of Brad Maynard.
I'm disappointed. The weather's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
It's gotten better, hasn't it?
It has.
It's improved. Maynard takes a little off this one and gets the job done down at the 12-yard line. Corey Graham downs it. 32-yard punt down inside the 20. 3 and out for each side. We're back. The winds are gusting. The snow is blowing.
See, I just had to complain a little.
Yeah, it got worse during the break. Now the second series of the game for the Patriots from the 15. And you see they had to remark the field. Red lines trying to help things out. And that's Welker with a gain of 8. But they've been out here sweeping, snow plowing, trying to find all kinds of ways to give some sort of distinction to the markings on the field.
The red line, great idea. It really makes it for the players, the coaches, the coaches upstairs, so they can give information down the sidelines to help them on situations.
Ball's on the Patriots 23. And Green Ellis has a huge hold. Manning is able to drag him down. The first down of the game for either side, and the run of 12.
Yeah, this New England offense, we saw it last week against the New York Jets and Green Ellis. It's Jim, you and I talked about it last night with some of the New England Patriots. I think with Tom Brady. Green Ellis, as the year has gone along, he looks quicker and faster, and he's absolutely doing his part of the job, getting it done for the New England running game.
And he's rushed for 11 touchdowns over the last 10 games. Green Ellis.
Logan Mankins being back has helped the running game too.
First down from the 35. That's incomplete. What's it like throwing out there today?
Well, you know, it's going to be tough. But first, let's look at this New England offense. We talk about the passing game so much. Watch the left guard Mankins. Pulls, just sticks him and Dan Copen down the field. You don't have to knock them out of the way sometimes. If you hit the defender hard enough, they can't get off to the block, and that creates a nice run for the Patriots offense.
Second down and 10. Brady's first ever appearance at Soldier Field. When they played in 02 against Chicago on the road, it was down in Champaign, Illinois, when they were restoring Soldier Field. There's a pass that wobbled a bit, even with that rifle arm of Brady. So influenced by the gusts out there. It'll be 3rd and 10 coming up. Of course, you played here in a playoff game quarter century ago, and it was a very blustery, cold day as well.
It was, and it was extremely windy, and I'd never put gloves on, but I came out warmed up and said, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Put the gloves on, dealt with it pretty well. It's a little different now. The field being grass, the fact that these quarterbacks can rub up these footballs and just make them easier to hold and throw, I think helps them out a great deal too. 3rd down and 10.
Ball on the New England 35. Excellent protection, and the catch made for a first down. Boy, that line sealed the pocket for Brady, and Welker, the recipient, 17-yard Brady strike.
That's right. The offensive line giving him time. The field's a little slick, so it makes it tougher to dig in and really push. Tom Brady, really nice throw. So far, as you watch him throw the football, he's controlling it very well, and the weather it's just not a factor. He's piercing the football right through the wind. 3 completions, all of them to Welker. On first down, it's Green Ellis on the right side, and Manning comes up, holds it to a 2-yard gain. Of course, the last time Brady played in the snow, we were there. It was last October '09. And he threw 6 touchdown passes against Tennessee, 5 alone in the second quarter, an NFL record. They won that game 59-0. And that's the last time. Of course, that wasn't in windy conditions, which is also factored in here today. Well, a couple things help Tom Brady. His throwing motion helps him throw in bad weather. That's Woodhead and Urlacher. Sets him back 2 yards. What else? Well, and just first off about that screen, Jim. When you throw screen passes, to me, to stop it, it's about the defensive line, recognize it, and then chasing it. And Tommy Harris, number 91, recognizes it early. He's out there. You see how quick Brian Urlacher gets there. Look at all the defenders around it. That's how you get it done. But what was I talking about? Tom Brady just thrown in the tough weather. The fact that he gets his body into the throw so much helps him control it. That the Patriots practice outside all the time. Bill Belichick makes them get ready for cold games, rainy games by practicing those elements. 3rd down and 12, and he's got Branch for another first down. That one had some zip on it. 17 yards, Brady to Branch. Well, it was just perfect timing by everybody. What did Tom Brady say? The route running, Deion Branch, is so smooth and makes it work. A zone defense, in other words, everybody's dropping back. They're looking at Tom Brady. He anticipates where his receiver is going to be, so when he lets it go, the defense doesn't have enough time to react and get there. First down from the Chicago 34. Impressive drive being put together by New England, and another hookup with Welker, who breaks the tackle and takes it all the way down to the 10. He got away from Chris Harris. This is the play you see the Denver Broncos run a lot. Now the Patriots doing it. The play action fake, nobody underneath. Look where the linebackers were. Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs, right at the line of scrimmage. Let's watch the gap. Here they come up. Look at the space, nice and soft over the top, makes it an easy catch for Wes Welker. Picks up 24. They bring in Julian Edelman. He's wide to the right. 1st and goal to go. Danny Woodhead, the running back. They hand it to Woodhead. 7 steps, gets down to about the 7. You know, Jim, you talk about the bad weather. I'll never forget, I can't remember what game it was. Maybe it was the Tennessee game. They came out to practice. Belichick walks up. The offense is getting ready to start. He empties a bag of footballs out there, and Tom Brady goes, "What is this?" And he goes up there. The footballs were frozen. He had them in the freezer. He goes, "It's going to be cold this weekend. Deal with it." Yeah, learn how to deal with it. That's a little extreme, but I think it proved a point. He doesn't want to hear it. Get it done. And he threw 6 touchdowns that day. And this one's tipped and should have been intercepted. Chris Harris had the play on it after Urlacher tipped it. Something you just can't practice when you go against the Bears. Watch Brian Urlacher. What did you and I say as we were watching Urlacher and Lance Briggs on the field warming up? They're huge. They're tall. And you think, oh, I'll throw it over the linebacker, but you're not used to throwing over a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", long arms, and pretty smart, too. Of course, Brady has not thrown an interception now in his last 237 attempts. He's moving in on all-time record territory. About 50 throws to go, and he'll have it. 3rd and goal. And to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Gronkowski, the rookie, with his 7th touchdown of the year. Well, this is just a basketball player. Watch 87 go down with Brian Urlacher. Just hitting. Oh, that is excellent. Made contact. Could have been an offensive pass interference without doubt. Urlacher was planted there. Gronkowski so big, clears out a little space and got the rebound. Wait, the pass. Gronkowski and Hernandez, the two. Sterling
rookie tight ends. There's now 11 touchdown catches between the two of them, 7 by Gronkowski, and Graham adds the extra point. Well, forget about the weather conditions. Just march down the field, 12 plays, 85 yards, and another Brady touchdown throw. We're back here in Chicago. Jim Nance, Phil Simms. Crowd's being serenaded to a little everybody. It's gone surfing.
Oh, yeah,
by the Beach Boys.
Yeah, it just warmed me up right away.
Yeah, doesn't it make you feel a little better?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Tom Brady and Drew Brees are the only quarterbacks with a touchdown pass in every game this year. And Tom, now 7-to-1 ratio on the year touchdowns to picks. That's 28-4 on the year.
Let me just say this. We said it in one of our things this morning, Jim. But what did Bill Belichick keep stressing us? Nah, it just won't be that bad. And that's just a great message to your players. I don't want to hear about slipping. Go out there and warm up, get used at work, and they're used. It's not like the New England Patriots play in Miami. So they can deal with this weather. They've done it extremely well here to start the game. And, of course, I think the Chicago Bears, too, they can deal with it, too.
So Coach Belichick bundled up as this one comes down to Davis. And the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Bears. Well, almost. That's Bennett who recovers it. Bennett, the second-year receiver out of Vanderbilt. Third-year receiver. Big save for Chicago there. Now Davis on the kick return.
Oh, he ran into his own guy, so he got hit when he wasn't expecting it. Football wasn't secure enough. It's just, you got to be a little overprotective of the football early in this game until you get used to it and accustomed to the elements.
So from the 22, Cutler was 3 and out the first time they had it. This will be his first pass attempt. And he fires it over to Greg Olsen for a gain of about 5, maybe 6 for the Chargers today, as of course they're in that race out west. The Raiders losing, had chances to win. Forte with Guyton on his back may have taken Guyton with him across the first down yardage.
Threw a flag. Could it be on Garza, the right guard?
Holding. Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's on Garza and Cutler and company. Will get backed up this field. The last home game was against Philadelphia. They've resodded the field since then, but a lot of concern about that.
Well, he gets his arm out there, but I always have a hard time. And look, it's the rules. Put your arm around the guy, they're going to throw it.
All that concern about the field conditions all week.
Yeah.
Compromised, of course,
I think
by Mother Nature.
It looks great. Players are not slipping much, though, Jim. They really are not. I know it's early.
Cutler with heat and is swamped. That is Gerard Warren, who swallows up the quarterback.
Yeah, you're right. That's what he does. He swallows it up. The receivers do not come open quick enough. The protection's always an issue here in Chicago against Jay Cutler, and you make him hold it an extra beat. He avoids a lot of sacks with his mobility, his quick feet, and the fact that he can run around. But I always say this, sometimes sacks are overrated. When in doubt, take the sack. Don't throw it blindly. Don't lose control of the football where you can fumble it too.
Of course, Cutler sacked more than any quarterback in the league this year. So many of them coming early in the year. 3rd down and 18. That last one lost 4. Cutler's pass complete. And that's Johnny Knox with the grab in front of McCourty.
And that was, you talking about a strike. Well, they're going to mark it back. The first original spot looked like it was going to be very close. Nice route by Johnny Knox. Oh, he's way past the line that we have it marked. But look at this throwing motion. Slips a little, gathers himself, and rips it in there. That's just the best thing to describe Jay Cutler. He can just rip it in there. He was throwing it so hard in warm-ups. Players are still cold, getting used to it. They were just like, okay, I'll wait for the next one to try to catch one.
They needed 18. He picked up 19. Cutler going back to completing his last 10 last week. His first 2 today. He's got 12 straight completions. able to get away from Brace and scramble out for about 6. So ball on the 40. Cutler able to make something out of that last one when it looked like it might be a loss. 2nd and 4. Forte. And that's good for a first down. Run of 5 into the arms of Mayo.
Really good. The run's happening while there's a little blinding snowstorm at the same time. Who's got the ball? Good job by Mayo and Sanders.
This is what we're talking about. There are times where it's almost like whiteout conditions. The wind starts whipping up, and it kind of is just circulating around the interior here at Soldier Field.
There were times during warm-ups that both teams actually just stopped and stood there like they were sheep out on a farm during a storm. Just stand still.
First down, back to Forte. Muscles his way for about 3.
Well, you know, Jim, last night we talked to Bill Belichick, and of course we talked about the Bears a lot and about Jay Cutler, and he had high praise for him. The fact that he just thinks that he can move around, which we've seen. He is fearless in his decision-making, and that worries the coach. And, of course, high praise for the fact that he needs very small windows to complete passes down the field. And somebody said to me this week, hey, Jay Cutler, he's a game manager. Well, then you're not watching games and you don't know much about football. This guy's a difference maker, and he's been the difference for the Chicago Bears so far this year.
2nd and 6, and right up the middle into the line for 2 is Matt Forte. It'll set up 3rd and about 4. If you got a sports fan on your gift list, CBSSports.com shop has officially licensed NFL gear and get 3-day shipping on every order. Just go to shop.cbssports.com. So likely a passing down coming up for Cutler, who threw 26 picks last year. That number's down to 10 this season.
Well, it's down, and it's really just a wonderful job here in Chicago. Mike Martz, Jay Cutler, they just understand the whole scenario, the makeup of the football team, and they've adjusted and are playing accordingly.
10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Cutler, and there is an incompletion intended for Earl Bennett, knocked away by Devin McCourty.
Well, let's just say this. As somebody from New England told us, man, thank gosh we got Devin McCourty, because he has been borderline spectacular. Big interceptions, tough on the run, and how about that? Just glued to the receiver. For a rookie, a corner, awesome job.
Yep, his 6 interceptions ties the New England rookie record of Michael Haynes back in 1976. Maynard steps to the side to field the snap. And Welker runs away from this one. Ball deadens at the 11. Covered up by Graham for the 2nd time in this game. That's the end of quarter number 1. New England 7, Chicago nothing. And you're watching the NFL on CBS. Well, this is actually the anniversary day on this very date. Back in the 70s of the famed snowplow game up in New England.
You know, you watch that and you just go, didn't everybody know when that was happening? Like, wow, that's not legal. That was incredible.
John Smith wins it 3-0. As Brady again works the middle of the field. And that's Wes Welker's having a big start to the day. Good for 12. That flashback. And actually 1982. Mark Henderson comes out to clear the field for the game-winning kick.
Oh, my gosh. If I'd have been the opposing coach, what are you kidding?
Don Shula?
I would have ran out there and knocked him off that plow.
Ask Coach Shula the next time you see him.
Yeah,
if he's gotten over that one yet.
Yeah,
I know he hasn't.
Of course not.
First down, and Green Ellis. They're finding some big holes to operate with. Opening it up with the likes of Algie Crumpler. Good for 11.
Algie Crumpler coming. He is out of this backfield. He can be a devastating blocker. And again, Matt Light, the left tackle. You keep talking about Logan Mankins. It gets overlooked. A veteran offensive line. And we talked to Julius Peppers, and the first thing he said, veteran, tough, good. They know it. New England is showing.
Well, this time the stick on Green Ellis, who was able to fall forward for no gain. Idonije on the tackle, 45-3. At the start of that one, down 10. Branch has his second catch. Tillman tries to strip it. Branch holds on out of bounds after a gain of 9. And I'm thinking here, Phil, we were with the Patriots on Thanksgiving Day. That game in the third quarter, Detroit was competitive with them.
Right.
Since that time in the third, it's 80-3 for New England against their opponents. The rest of the way against the Lions, and then the Jets, and now this one. And a timeout called by Brady. Up 7-0. Early stages of the second quarter at Soldier Field. Back out of the break, and a 3rd and 1 for New England. They go middle, handoff. And that's Sammy Morris. They've used that 3rd and 1 with Morris very effectively all season long. What about the timeout, Phil?
Well, here's what happened. They were going to come up and run the quarterback sneak real quick. Chicago says, no, we're ready for that. So it's, hey, second quarter, you can use a timeout now, not worry about it. So Tom Brady says, I don't like this quarterback sneak. Let's get a better play. Give it to a running back instead of the quarterback.
Fake to Woodhead. Brady's pass deflected. Getting a hand on it was Julius Peppers.
Well, Julius Peppers didn't like the left side of the offense coming from Tom Brady's left, so he switches sides, gets to the right. They usually put him in positions where he can get one-on-one blocking. Wow, how about that, Jim? I mean, what are you going to do? You block him, he times it, jumps, knocks it down.
Peppers we spoke to this week, very excited about being in Chicago.
Oh, defensive lineman's dream, football, the culture here.
Yep.
It's about defense.
Welker. Blockers in front, clear the path for Welker. Matt Light, one of those who made it a wide open running lane for Welker for 19.
I don't know if it was a double call, but there's not enough guys out here. Oh, that's what happens. It's a blitz. More on the blitz. There are not enough guys to defend. The Patriots, timing is everything when you make the calls on the offensive side. How about that, Dan Copen? You don't have to block them as a lineman. Just go to the ground. They'll jump.
Welker with 6 catches. Green Ellis, he too has wide open space. About the 3rd time we've seen that with Green Ellis. Gets the big running start with it. 9-yard pickup. Major right brings him down.
There is no hesitation. Again, Connolly. Look at Sebastian Vollmer. Not only does he block the guy, he just says, not blocking you's not good enough. I'm going to take you completely out of the frame and try to embarrass you a little bit. Running game. Of course, there's so many things they do on offense, the Patriots. The running game is really picking up, and it's got a very physical part to it.
2nd and 1. They get the first with Woodhead. Gain of about 5 in all. Survivor Week is kicking off on Wednesday when a family challenge brings out the best and worst in the survivors. It's all new Survivor Wednesday. The season finale is next Sunday. Only CBS Survivor Week on CBS. So they're moving it again as Cutler watches from the sideline. After an 85-yard drive, this one so far 67 and moving. Green Ellis goes outside. Got a block out there. And another big gainer for Green Ellis.
Wow, Sammy Morris leading the way. Last week against the Jets, they just delivered the blows. That's what it is. Vollmer, take his guy to the ground. Sammy Morris kicks him out. And again, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Sometimes we're right when we talk about guys. We say to them, are we right or is he getting faster? Or wrong? But hey, repetitions, being coached right, and having talent, you get better. Well, that's been Jarvis, Green Ellis.
Got 50 yards rushing already. He's out on 1st and goal from the 3. Woodhead bouncing around and squirts out of the jam, and he's in for the touchdown. Touchdown, New England. Danny Woodhead.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears are going to have to go to the sideline now. The defense have to huddle up and go, what we're doing is not working. Nice block by the center, Copeland. Oh, my gosh, everybody's just getting great angles. Cross blocks, Woodhead. Small gets lost. And tough. And strong.
Of course, Woodhead, a former Harlan Hill Award winner, Division II Heisman equivalent. named after Harlan Hill, who was drafted by the Bears back in '54 out of the University of North Alabama. Hill still ranks second in touchdown receptions in Bears history with 40. So Woodhead has touchdown number 5 on the year since being signed week 2 after the Jets cut him. That was some pickup, Danny Woodhead. What a
incredible. It really is. Listen, you got to be a free thinker in the NFL. And of course, Bill Belichick is. Look at all the guys on the team that have such specific roles. And if you're good, those roles keep extending.
And Shane Graham makes it 14-0. Patriots offense again after a pair of 45-point outbursts. Already 14 on the board at Chicago. How about this? 85-yard drive backed up by an 87-yard touchdown drive.
Listen, this is the best offense in the NFL. Is there a debate? Can you even lie and come up with somebody else right now? And you see the Chicago Bears, Rod Marinelli, and it starts with the front four. They have to pressure the passer. They're not doing it. And Tom Brady, the passing game, the formations, the plays, I say it every time I do a Patriots game, there's so much that you just got to keep changing up. You got to make them guess a little.
How about through the first 12 games of the season? Coming into this one, the Bears had allowed 3 touchdown drives over 80 yards. Already given up 2 here in the first quarter and a half. Not even a quarter and a half. As Manning returns this one. A fantastic burst by Manning. 40-yard run back. Kyle Arrington ends it. But it's 14-0 visitors.
You know we're superstars. We are who we are.
Jim Nantz and Phil Simms back in snowy, blustery Chicago, and the Bears trailing 14-0. Chester Taylor in the backfield, but it's a pass attempt. Cutler to Knox. The ball is out. The ball is out and is picked up by the Patriots. It's Gary Guyton running it back, and they rule it on the field a fumble. It's a touchdown, New England. McCourty is the one who knocked it away from Knox.
Well, the rule is let them play on the field. Don't blow the whistle too quick. Does he catch it? 1, 2. Oh, it's possession for sure. Now, when does the football come out? It's going to be close. Actually, it looks like he's sitting on top of the shoe.
Challenge flag is out.
See that, Jim? You see how he fell onto the leg of Devin McCourty?
Exactly.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by New England. It's being challenged by Chicago.
This could be the game.
Boy, that would be an early knockout if it was. Chicago's going to hope that they'll overturn it and rule them down. Back in Chicago, Mike Carey, the referee, is examining this. A challenge by the Bears, ruling on the field, fumble, and a return for a touchdown by the Patriots. Phil, you said it. You saw it live. You thought that perhaps Knox was
sitting
on the foot of McCourty. Did not touch the ground.
That's what it looked like.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was on the foot of the defender when the ball came loose. Therefore, it was a fumble recovered by New England for a score. Chicago is charged with their first team timeout.
Chicago gives up a touchdown, loses a timeout. Here it is.
Well, it's amazing that it happened this way. The fact that he lands on Devin McCourty's foot, it gives him that extra split second to knock it out. What a play again by McCourty. All over the receiver. Really only like a yard or 2 gain. But then to tear it out. Chicago putting the football on the ground. New England's not.
2 touchdowns in 20 seconds. Nice snap. Metzger got it down. Graham drives it through. As if the Patriots offense needs help scoring. They've got one from the defense now. 21-zip. 7 returns for touchdowns, Phil. You might not have guessed Arizona with 8.
It's incredible. Yes. It would have taken me 30 guesses to get the next team, but
yeah, 30 misses, and then the 31st would have been Arizona.
The numbers, the touchdowns by the Patriots this year. How many touchdowns have they made now?
Well, coming into the week, they had 48 touchdowns. The second highest in the league was 38.
You know, they just so they're just good, and they're getting better. That's the thing. Both sides of the ball, they are getting better as this year goes along.
Kick travels to the 5. Manning had a good return the last time. This time, well, he actually got away from Ninkovich, and he's taken off. Finally brought down by Slater. Daniel Manning with another 40-yard return.
Couple good returns by the Chicago Bears. Now the Patriots, they are one of the best special teams units in the NFL. They do it all well. They think they got it covered, but Slater, hey, stand alert, never giving up on plays, gets off his block, and probably saves a touchdown. Merriweather, good job by him too, because it looked like everybody thought he was down and tackled.
More touchdowns than the Bears have produced first downs. And Chester Taylor's first handle, and he is sliced by Ninkovich for a loss of a yard. So the Patriots scored by air, by land, and by return, by defense. Gronkowski, Woodhead, and Guyton, actually his second touchdown of the year, Phil, had an interception return.
That's right.
Week 1 against Cincinnati.
We saw it. Well, if you're the Chicago Bears, listen, you just talk to yourself. The fight is not over. Don't think about the score. Grind it out. Get a first down here and see what happens.
Second down, we'll call it 11. There's a flag thrown. Looks like it's going to be against the Bears as Cutler scrambles for about 14.
Cutler makes this running look easy. Over 200 yards rushing this year.
Holding. Offense number 86. 10-yard penalty is still second down.
Just to make matters worse, Manu Maliuna flagged for the holding call.
Well, you know, sometimes I say this all the time, Jim, holding quarterback moves. There you see against Tully Banta-Cain. I think maybe he got his foot stepped on. That's why they both fell. Couldn't quite tell. But the Chicago Bears do that a lot, especially with Manu Maliuna. He stays in and blocks. They block the outside guy. It's a trait of Mike Martz's offense, especially when you play a 3-4, because you're not sure which linebacker is going to be the pass rusher.
Second down. On the ball's dropped by Taylor. 3rd and 20 on the way. Tomorrow on CBS, it's holiday season in Hawaii, but to solve this case, 5-0 will need more than a miracle. Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 news show, Hawaii 5-0. Tomorrow, only CBS.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we are here. Well, Hawaii 5 almost.
Just to warm you up a little bit. Hester down to the near side. 3rd and 21, actually. Weller zips it, and Knox can't hold on. Would not have been enough for the first.
No, but a great thought process by the Bears. Move the quarterback, give him the extra second. But the down and distance was just too great. And it is an excellent throw by Jay Cutler. Knox trying to sell it down the field. His defensive backs for the New England Patriots, every week, the more you watch them, they're starting to make, they're young, they're making more plays.
Like Kyle Arrington. Got a second-year player in Arrington. He was undrafted a year ago out of Hofstra. Of course, you got the rookie first-rounder McCourty on the other side. Edelman shakes off Davis and takes off. Edelman with a big return. Oh, and he had it. He was gone. Had it gone back toward the New England side of the field on the New England bench, it would have been a touchdown. Still, it's a 42-yard return by Edelman after a 38-yard punt.
Well, you know, everybody wants to be part of it now. Everybody's hot for New England. As you watch Edelman, quick feet right here. If he stays outside, it's gone. He's going to score. Easy to see from up here. But still, the big thing, the right cuts, the speed going forward, and protecting the football.
Longest punt return of Edelman's career, the 42-yarder. And they're set up again now on the Chicago side of the field at the 30. Green Ellis takes a few Bears with him for 5.
3 tight ends to the right. What do you think that means? So we're going to run it over here.
Yep.
It's just, it's everything now. It's a little bit of attitude. How about this? 3 of them going to run to the right. And what happens is, nice job, the front side, back side, cutting off their blocks. Just winning the point of attack, New England's offensive line.
And Green Ellis again. Look at him fighting for an extra couple yards at least. He's going to be 1 yard short, gain of 4. You're right, though, about the man they call Benny around that locker room. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. You know, we watched him come out of Ole Miss. Again, he was undrafted.
Right.
And, you know, as the season develops, smoother, looking more natural, looking faster.
Well, it just makes sense, doesn't it, Jim? You know, like any athlete, you let them get out there, get some confidence, and get more practice, get experience in games, they're going to get better.
He's getting the handle again, 3rd and 1, and again trying to fight for it. Chris Harris pushes him back. So be close on the spot, though. The progress is going to be right on the line. They may have to measure.
Now, they're going to go for it if they are a little bit short. I have no doubt about that. But, you know, the other thing is, too, you look at this game. If you're the Chicago Bears, Tim, we've done a lot of games. Guys, you better dig in there. Because the one thing we know, the Patriots will not stop. They're not worried about the score. They're aggressive from start to finish, and they keep going. We saw that Monday night against the New York Jets. They're up 35-3, whatever the score was. Pedal to the metal, keep playing hard.
Yep. We're not going to back off. In fact, again, the last time they played in the snow a year ago in October, 59-0 over Tennessee, as we mentioned. So after the first down, ball tipped and incomplete. That was Nick Roach who deflected at this time. His ball was trying to go back to Welker.
Well, what happens is a zone defense. Tom Brady looks right. He doesn't see the linebacker. They read the eyes of the quarterback, and that is 2 times now they have tipped it up in the air. This is what this Bears defense is about. Sacking the quarterback, you know, getting the penalty, tipping the football the way they play defense, get the interception. 2 times in the air, both times, well, they don't make the play.
And again, his streak, though, without an interception is now up to 243 attempts. That's 4th best all time as Woodhead scratches out about 2. The all-time record belongs to Bernie Kosar, 286 attempts without an interception. Brady 43 throws away without a pick to record numbers.
Pretty incredible. Of course, you got to be a little lucky. But we've seen a lot of these plays, the throws in this streak. He hasn't gotten a lot of breaks. Just good decision, good design of the offense, making it clear for the quarterback what his job is. I think that's the biggest thing. They're very clear on how he is supposed to execute the passing game.
Faces a 3rd and 7. They give him Woodhead underneath, and they converge on him. Does both Julius Peppers and Brian Urlacher. Be about 4th and 3.
Yeah, they're going to kick the field goal here.
Shane Graham is headed in. Graham, who took over for Stephen Gostowski, who had to go on injured reserve with a thigh injury back on November the 10th.
Look at this, Jim. Everybody is out there.
Helping the cause.
Bunch of cows, man, trying to clear it up.
Yeah. It's a whole new specialty group from the long snapper to the holder to the place kicker from the year. That 30-yard attempt, and it hooks through. Look at that action.
That's class.
Did it get there? Yes, just barely. I tell you, it hit one of those walls of wind. Made it across from 30. He's now made his last 18 regular season field goals. And it's 24-0. Patriots. Now Santa Claus paying a little visit. Let's see if the quarterback from Santa Claus, Indiana, can get something going for the Chicago Bears. Talking about Jay Cutler.
Well, I think Jay Cutler, I know that they've done nothing on the offensive side, but well, given the opportunity, he's making the play.
You saw Edelman, who set up the field goal by Graham with that long punt return.
You know, it's interesting, Jim, as you watch this game, you all watch the kickers. They got to kick those brand new kicking balls. They can be rough in these elements. The quarterbacks, we talked to both of them about getting footballs ready for this tough climate. Tom Brady, he likes to rub them up, get them used so he can grip them really well. Jay Cutler, he doesn't care.
Still got the shine on him.
I don't care.
Devin Hester. It's Hester this time, and he is tripped up again. Getting down there in a hurry is Dane Fletcher to make the play, along with Tracy White. Just a 14-yard return.
Well, let's talk about it. First off, here's the Patriots and Tom Brady. Look at the difference in the color to Jay Cutler's. And Tom Brady likes them rubbed up, a little rough before he can feel it. Jay Cutler, they take them right out of the box. They're brand new. They got all that slick stuff on them. And I said something to him because, you know, if I just don't want to care. I don't want to waste the energy worrying about it. And, you know, in fact, he goes, I kind of like them, that new slick stuff on the ball.
Yeah, he thought it gave him a better tact. He said a better grip.
Only guy I've ever heard say that.
And he's going to go down, and the ball is out again as the Patriots get this strip sack and the recovery.
It's just, it's jailbreak. And this happens from time to time with this Bears offense. And if they get in obvious passing situations, they struggle protecting the quarterback, all the angles.
It's Eric Moore who forced it, just recently signed, and Mayo recovers.
How about that? And on the, as you watch it from the right side, right away, they get through. And Garza had a hard time, lost his angle. But let the Patriots made. It made Jay Cutler move, and once he moves, everybody else comes off the blocks, and you're in trouble.
First and goal. Woodhead. With the ball scored out the way they're fighting for it. That's Logan Menken's getting thrown down. Pulled off the pile. That light still in there. It's a gain of a yard for Woodhead.
You know, he probably should institute a rule. You know this, when you're losing by a lot of points, you're not allowed to fight. You know what I'm saying? You just got to play. But it's sometimes, if that's what it takes, getting emotional and get a little fight going, and hey, you do what you got to do to get back into the game.
Bears defender gets off just in time.
Didn't hustle enough for me to get off the field.
Second and goal, and incomplete. That was in and out of the arms of Welker. You know, the Patriots average a league best 31 points a game, and they're 8 yards away, plus an extra point from hitting that figure with 3.5 minutes to go in the first half.
It's just been an impressive performance in so many ways. 3 times the Bears have put it on the ground. Patriots get it twice.
Third and goal from the 8. Incomplete. That hopped in to Welker.
One of the good things the Bears do on defense, they do it really well, and they got to do it more. Watch the inside pressure. Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher, they're excellent of getting through, getting around blockers, and getting in the way of the quarterback. Good job by Lance Briggs that time.
So they come out to help out again. Graham, the whole special teams unit, tries to clear some of the snow. Graham was good just a few moments ago from 30. This is 25.
It's like a breaking punch. You just got to trust that it's going to break.
Whistles first. Patriots called the timeout. And the Patriots will be lining up for a 25-yard field goal. Had a couple of big opportunities by the Bears defense, couple of deflections. Certainly could have changed the complexion of this one.
Yeah, when you watch the Bears play, a lot of teams can kind of drive the football, get a couple first downs, but talent, the scheme, the way they're built, they're going to get to you, tip a football, and turn things around. They have not gotten those breaks or created those breaks today against New England.
So Graham from 25. And this one's good again. Cutler lofting it up, leading to 3 more. Run the number up to 27 now for New England. It's been steady since about 3 o'clock in the morning. Expected to be like this till about midnight tonight. And again, the wind relentless as well. At 30, steady at 30. Well, this is since halftime of the Thanksgiving game, but I was making the point that really there's a point in that third quarter of that Thanksgiving game where they just marched on and scored the last 28 points of the game. So it's really over this stretch of time since the third quarter, mid-third quarter now.
Right.
That would be 100-3 is this stretch right now for New England. It was 73-3 coming in, and on another 20, 100-3 since the mid-third quarter on Thanksgiving. Now it's Manning's turn after a 1-run back attempt. Sammy Morris playing special teams and on the tackle. 27-yard return. Doubleheader of college basketball action here on the home of the NCAA basketball tournament next week. Some will see South Carolina against number 2 Ohio State or Stanford and Butler. And then everyone will get Texas against North Carolina. The Tar Heels hosting Rick Barnes' Longhorns next Saturday here on the road to the Final Four. 27 points on one side, 32 total yards on the other. Forte's back in, and he's going to surrender a lot of yards. This is the young man, the fifth-year player out of Florida State, just recently signed by the Patriots. Eric Moore, who forced a fumble on the last play they were out there.
It's really incredible the number of players who have contributed this year on this New England defense. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of guys have played. Performances, Bill Belichick not happy, so he just keeps changing them. And these guys know when they get an opportunity, you better play well, because they are not afraid of changing and putting somebody else in your spot.
It lost 5, second and 15. Forte out of the backfield. Mayo rags him down, gain of about 7, but it's a defense on that New England side. So young. We've seen games where they started 4 rookies and 3 second-year players, and it really all came together last week against the Jets.
Well, it's starting to come together. The play of the defensive backs is getting there. The play up front. Vince Wilfork, haven't said his name much today, but he's been spectacular this year. Besides Vince Wilfork and Devin McCourty and Mayo, everybody else has been benched, substituted for, whatever during this year.
3rd and 9, and this time Forte cannot hold on, and the Bears have to give the football back to New England. At the 2-minute warning, as lopsided as it gets, 27-0. And a big shout out to our crew out here in this very difficult afternoon of weather. Maynard's punt. Oh, look at Edelman. Saw it slip for a moment, and then he takes off again. This time he cuts to the right, and he has one man to beat. And no one's going to stop him. Another return for a touchdown. They got a fumble return and now a punt return of 71 yards. Looks like there might be a flag on the field. There is a flag down. Boy, he bobbled it for a moment. Yeah, Arrington held the block there.
He did such a good job of getting in
During
front
the
of
kick,
it.
holding, receiving team number 52, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Oh, Dane Fletcher's holding penalty will take it away.
You know, I'll tell you again, Julian Edelman, you think Wow, I just expected him to be such a big part of the offense this year, and you go, where did he go? Now he's resurfacing in the special teams, and what's impressive is just the quick decision and just full speed ahead. Not looking to dodge, running through tight spaces, going to try to break tackles. Broke a tackle at the end, got the touchdown. The hold brings it back.
So this is about the only thing that's gone Chicago's way for the whole half.
Number 52. Oh, it's a good grab in the jersey, pulling him around.
Taking Brian Ewu around and got flagged for it, so they're all the way back. The Patriots at their own 19. Green Ellis. Maybe a yard. Coming up, we've got the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher, all the latest scores and highlights. Coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
Now Chicago could stop them here on second down. I think the Patriots will run it. If anything, you want to make sure you take the Chicago Bears timeouts away from them here. So Tom Brady taking his time. They're doing nothing but watching this clock, trying to make sure it works in their favor.
Second down and 9. Branch past Tillman.
How about that? I thought for sure they would run the football, just try to get rid of it, probably go in, but no. And we've already said it once, they don't stop. They keep playing. They expect to execute in tough situations, even when you're backed up in the snow in Chicago.
That picked up 18. They have one timeout. Brady's. Oh, and again they had a chance for the theft.
3 times now.
Urlacher.
And it was a well-designed play by the Patriots. But again, Brian Urlacher is very unique. He can play this defense where he's really like a safety, plays back. You just cannot underestimate. He can jump, how tall he is. And like I said, the long arms. Tom Brady got away with an interception. 3 times now. Did they have a chance to make the play?
From their own 40 with 26 seconds, they go ground. Woodhead for 2. Again, the Sprint halftime report's coming up. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher, all the scores and highlights, the recaps of the early games. Coach Cowher got on me a little bit today in the pregame, huh?
Yeah, he called you out. I'm sorry.
For wearing a scarf. Man with his organic coffee. Here is Branch. Oh, they got the Bears thinking they weren't going to do anything. Then Branch is in for a touchdown. Brady and Branch again for 59. And that is just one last stunner here in the first half with no time left. The Bears, after they had run it with Woodhead the previous play, weren't expecting anything.
Well, they're expecting, if anything, a short pass from the outside. Here's the safety. They're playing across the board, so the fact that the inside receiver goes up the field, Tillman plays it wrong, and the Patriots are known to always take a shot, no matter what the situation. Never fall asleep in that. Tillman did, gives up the easy touchdown.
Boy, Tillman looked like he was just frozen on the field. You're right, they were in shotgun. So, and that kick is no good by Graham, the extra point. Wide right. And the Boo Birds are out.
I'd say Tom Brady has those footballs feeling perfect. Really razor sharp when the receivers are open, throwing it down the field.
3 straight games they've hooked up for scores. Brady 19 touchdowns since his last pick. 33-0 show. 33 and Chicago nothing. As many times I look at it, it's still kind of hard to believe when you see a score like this between a pair of teams that were coming in here tied for first place in their divisions. I don't even know where to start, but it's been all New England from the get-go.
It's hard to believe that snow's coming in our booth, too. It's unbelievable. Patriots, just awesome. Boomer Esiason said it best. They have the best offense in the National Football League, and they pressure you so much. You think, well, the defense is not great. Well, does it matter? They put you in such tough situations. you cannot just overcome.
All right, Phil, let's take a look at the Droid Pro play presented by Motorola. Let's go to that last play of the first half. Tillman beaten badly by Branch, who takes off as time expires for the touchdown to absolutely get this place worked up to where the Boo Birds were calling as the team was heading to the locker room.
Well, the good news is I think the weather has improved slightly.
Yeah, last time you said that,
it got worse.
The snow intensified. Manning steps up to the 10-yard line. He takes a big tumble over on the sideline. I'll try to summarize it this way. Patriots over 30 points again. Brady with a couple of touchdowns. Woodhead runs one in. Guyton returns the fumble. And that's more points than Chicago had allowed in any single game this season.
And Lovie Smith told us on Friday, proud of his team, proud of the way they play, how hard they play, and how they've acted all year long. Well, this is a test.
Ball tipped and over the head of Forte. You saw the graphic. The first time they've trailed by more than 30 at halftime in a home game since 1964 against Minnesota.
You know, too, Jim, on the offensive side, you know, hey, look, come on, let's be honest. You know, you're probably not going to come back. You need every break there is to do it to win this game. But for the offense, you still mix it up. You run the football some. You don't put Jay Cutler in harm's way. Make the defense play as honest as you can.
High snap. He jumps up and grabs this Cutler, hands it off to Forte for about 8.
Coming into this game, too, the Bears so confident, so hopeful. I think they were looking forward to this tilt against the Patriots because the Patriots get so much publicity. They're so out there in front. After the big build-up on Monday night and the way the Patriots played, they were like, all right, let us get a chance and a shot at these guys. You know, they like their chances. They thought they matched up on both sides of the ball very well against New England. That has not been the case.
Well, they came in riding a 5-game win streak from the 43, 3rd down and 2. And incomplete as, look at the defensive play by Arrington on Knox.
Oh, it's excellent coverage. Crowd can't even muster up a boo thinking it's pass interference. Top of your screen, good technique. There comes underneath, left hand in front. That's just put it on a training reel. Play in the situation too. Play the field. It was a blitz. The football is probably going to be thrown short. Kyle Arrington all over the throw.
Edelman jumping around. He'd like to get that run back. Like the one he had called back. Oh, Maynard drops it. And that ball is, in fact, advanced. Only to about the 37. A moment ago, the snap to Maynard was perfect. Just the cold weather and everything. Numb fingers. Maynard fortunate to get that punt away. New England from the 37. Brady has it on his hip. Going downfield to Branch. And another big gainer for New England.
Yeah, what a way to start the second half. Look at that. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Just tremendous. The offense just keeps rolling. They keep them in rhythm. That's what I like, what Bill O'Brien is doing so well. The play calling, they spread it out. They let Tom Brady throw enough to always keep him in rhythm.
Green Ellis finally taken down by Peppers. I tell you, every time it seems like Green Ellis gets it, He's got a lane, and he's got a 10-yard gainer.
Oh, no question. Again, the other side, Algie Crumpler. One guy, Logan Mankins, Matt Light seals the end. It's a machine. And just talking about that play call, they run it, and they're running it well, of course, of late, but they run it enough to keep their offensive linemen aggressive. That is such a key in the NFL. The offensive linemen like to hit people every once in a while.
Brady to Gronkowski, and he shoved out of bounds. Here's the Patriots just continue to pick up.
Now they got it
big
all
chunks.
going.
Yep.
Everybody's open. The first play he could have thrown over the top, maybe to Wes Welker. Going across the field, you'll probably see somebody coming this way. There he comes. You know what? They were both open. So why not throw it to the short one and get the easy completion? In these conditions, Tom Brady, we said it, we showed the footballs, how he's got them in perfect condition and controlling it very well.
Gronkowski checks off the Briggs hit. Urlacher and others hold them to a 5-yard gain. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Jerry Jones. Tonight on 60 Minutes, close inspection of the Dallas Cowboys owner only on CBS.
Well, that'll be interesting. You know what this drive reminds me of? It reminds me of a preseason game where you go, okay, now guys, we're going to get you out there. We're going to give you all the one last series, make a few plays, do this. It really has that feel to it.
Green Ellis. Well, there's a good tackle to wrap him up.
Toina and Lance Briggs both on the hit. He could, did I hear you go, because you could hear it. Oh, that's Lance Briggs squares up 2 of them. What a hit. Lance Briggs. Brian Urlacher, Julius Peppers, all having outstanding years.
Well, this Chicago defense, that since that Super Bowl year 4 years ago, it's back to the way it used to be, except for today. Their numbers had been very impressive. Being shattered here, though, at the moment. 3rd and 6. And incomplete. Going for Green Ellis.
There are a couple plays here when the Patriots have been down inside is what the Bears are all about. Now you don't have to retreat as far. You can still watch the quarterback, play your zone defense, and the quarterback doesn't have that long because the rush got to him just like then. Tom Brady has to get rid of the football. Not enough time for the guys to get open and get the first down.
Dan Connolly and Algie Crumpler helped clear a little space for the kicker. Shane Graham was 2 for 2. And this one from 29. Made it from 30, made it from 25. And has this one from 29. 36 to nothing. Inside 11 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Soldier Field is the 2nd highest scoring New England team in its franchise history, behind that undefeated regular season team of 07. People thought, hey, they could never even come close to something like that again, could they? I mean, the way they played that season with Brady throwing 50 touchdowns, and they're not going to put the same kind of numbers up in the end, but pretty darn close.
That offense caught everybody by surprise, unique to the NFL at the time. Then everybody copied it. Now everybody's getting away from it. And this time it's a totally different thought process, what they're doing.
Down to Devin Hester at the 4. Hester breaks tackles, has the middle of the field, and he's taken off, and he's brought down. A saving tackle made by Ninkovich. For a moment, I thought it was the opening kick return in the Super Bowl down in Miami.
Sure looked like it. Well, the Patriots got something to complain about when they go in to watch these films tomorrow. It's the return game. The Bears, boy, oh boy, how quick is Hester? Just the movement, the ability to make cuts and go forward without losing speed. And good hustle again. Never give up on the play when you're playing this Bear teams in some of these returns.
Very nearly getting his 14th all-time punt or kick return, which would have set the all-time NFL record. He's currently tied with Brian Mitchell with 13 for the best in league history. Cutler throws it off balance in the area of Bennett. Well, Phil, we were just getting settled in. Super Bowl 41 down in Miami. We turned around, saw Vinatieri kick it to the 7, and then Hester took off for the only opening kick return in Super Bowl history.
I think if I remember back, the Colts said, yeah, we're going to kick it to him. We'll see. We can do it. We can cover. I'm not sure. Was that the last time they kicked it to him?
Yeah, I think it was. Matt Forte.
You know, Jim, I always like that when I talk to fans, even people in the business, go, yeah, we're going to attack their strength. And I go, why?
What are you asking for?
Why do you want to do that for?
Yeah.
Is that what we're supposed to do? No, I want to go at their weaknesses. Leave that strength over there. Well, we'll just, throw it to the guys who can't cover you. Like if Deion Sanders is the defensive back, yeah, we're not scared of him. I'm going to throw them all at him. That's good.
Go learn your lesson. 3rd and 7. There's Forte. Page misses him. Forte down the sideline, and he tried to stretch it out. He's out of bounds. Ball came out, but he's out of bounds at about the 2.
That was a good job by everybody involved. Pass protection. Forte coming out, comes across the field, and he's so valuable in the passing game this year for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you, as I watch everybody in this field today, it's amazing that the players are not slipping. Saw a game here a few weeks ago when the Philadelphia Eagles were here. It was a disaster. Everybody was falling, big divots coming up. None today here in this cold and snow.
That's their first down for the Bears since late first quarter. Can you believe it? 1st and goal to go. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Play action fake to him. And just throwing it away over the head of Manu Maliuna. This is the first time Chicago's been inside the New England 40 for the game.
You asked me, can I believe it? Yeah, it seems like the Patriots have had the football the whole game.
It really does.
You know, so much games are so funny in the NFL. You get the football, you control it, you drive it down the field, you take momentum away. Scores, they can be misleading, and that's why you see them turn around from one contest to the next.
It's Chester Taylor, jump cuts, and he is a little bit shy of the goal line. Picked up maybe a yard.
Yeah, it looks like he's about on the 1-yard line. Can't tell from here. Is that about right?
It's really hard to tell. I'd say it's about right.
Yes. Well, then you make your mind up here if you're the Chicago Bears. Okay. Mike Martz already been given the word. We're going forward on 4th. So you determine. Usually if you're going to go forward on 4th, this is the down to run it. You throw it on 4th if you want to.
So 3rd and goal. Bears trying to get on the board at last. They go Chester Taylor, and he's in. Touchdown, Chicago. So Forte really set it up on the little pass where he broke a tackle, took it down to about the 2. And then Taylor finishes it off, and the Bears have something to celebrate. Mini celebration. Ron Brace of the Patriots a little banged up. Robbie Gould will be.
Well, Gerard Warren's already banged up.
Yeah, he got injured. Remember, he had that sack early in the game.
But he's back in.
Yep.
And then, of course, Mike Wright's still out for him.
Pryor's out today, inactive.
Right.
Okay, Robbie Gould for the extra point. He was originally signed by New England as an undrafted free agent back in 2005. Went to camp and competed against Vinatieri. Didn't get the job at New England, but has had quite a career in Chicago. He's 5th all-time field goal kicker by percentage. Just a few percentage points actually behind Shane Graham on the other side. Manley snaps it back. Maynard on the hold. And Chicago has 7. With 8:43 to go, 3rd quarter. Well, you got to go back to the time you were folks sitting at home, probably over your Thanksgiving meal. Back to Thanksgiving Day in Detroit, the last time the Patriots allowed a touchdown. Good kick over the head of Brandon Tate. Robbie Gould forces the touchback. 36-7. Back here at Soldier Field, we remind you can vote. You vote, they play. Send your favorite players to the Pro Bowl. Vote online or on your mobile phone. Voting ends Monday, December 20th. Brady and Branch for about 7. The kicking game, a little help from your friends.
Teamwork. Keep it in a blizzard there, but
yeah, look at that.
look at everybody coming out, clearing the spot. And of course, as the score got higher, he got less help.
If you make it, you make it.
Yeah, it's not that important anymore.
Deion Branch has 130 yards. Which ties his regular season career high receiving yardage. Oh, and that would have given him a new mark. That one a little behind him.
Yep, a little behind him, but that's where you had to throw it. The linebacker was in the throwing lane.
You know, they've gone against some top defenses this season, talking about New England. Look at the points down here at the bottom. They put up 39 at Pittsburgh, 23 in an overtime win against Baltimore, averaged almost 30 against the Jets.
36 today. I said to Bill Belichick last night, years ago when they had that great offense, everybody copied it. This will be the offense in the NFL that will be copied this offseason. People will try to run this style.
There's Branch setting a new mark for receiving yardage and a first down.
And as, you know, as I tell you, this style, I mean, you notice the difference, don't you, Jim? To me, it's more complicated. The variables are great because of all the formations they come out with and how they don't really rely. It's not about, oh, we got one great receiver, you got to stop him. I don't know who you pick out. There are 6 guys that he can throw the football to, and they rotate everybody in there. Difficult to defend.
First down. Green Ellis. And this one will be knocked back for about a yard loss. But people would say after, of course, they made the Randy Moss trade, which ends up being a gift of a 3rd-round pick. How are the Patriots? They've lost that outside threat. This is going to change everything. It's going to be more difficult for them to produce points, and it's actually just gone the other way.
It's gone the other way, and to me, I said it this week talking to people about the Patriots, I think they're throwing the football down the field better than I've seen them in years because of this. Play action fakes.
And a flag. Green Ellis as Urlacher bearing down on him. Probably going to be a hold call. They were holding Julius Peppers, it looked like.
Yes.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty for the 2nd down.
But Jim, you're right. It's because of what they're doing on offense helps them. People looked at it the wrong way. The extra protection, the play action fakes, not relying on Randy Moss, Wes Welker entirely. Now the receivers are back to their route running. We see it. We've seen it the last few games. Deion Branch doing a double move. Whoever it is, the tight ends making little moves, getting down the middle of the field. That's what's really opened up this offense, I think, and just made it, like I told you, one of the best in the NFL when it comes to design.
After the first offensive penalty, it's Welker. He gets within 2 yards of another first. Deion Branch didn't catch it, but he did throw the block this time.
It's about Tom Brady make a play, and then don't worry about it. We'll take care of this, and we'll design it. Look at the lineman out in front.
Downfield, Matt Light's down there.
I mean, these guys block outside, of course.
By Branch.
Excellent job.
Mankin's down there. There's Matt Light.
Matt Light, he's
picks up 18.
He's flying around today. Athletic offensive lineman.
On 3rd down, there's Branch. And again, Tillman Tillman's having some issues with his footing out there. It just seems like every time he needs to make a break or kind of push off, he's just, we saw the Bears, by the way, the ones who were changing cleats late in the first half.
Timing, that time the play was designed to go up top. Everybody on the route was to Tom Brady's right, but he had the opportunity to say, nope, I'm just going to pick one guy. That's Deion Branch, and again, the quick feet, keeping his feet underneath his shoulders. He doesn't slip, the defender does.
Another first down for New England, which has scored on its last 6 drives.
Encroachment, defense number 95, 5-yard penalty, first down, 5 yards to go.
The 1st and 5 on the way. By the way, how about this matchup down at the Hyundai Sun Bowl on CBS? Notre Dame and Miami bring back all the memories of that heated rivalry from the late 80s and early 90s in El Paso. Miami and Notre Dame on CBS New Year's Eve day. 1st and 5, fake Green Ellis. Pass to Gronkowski. He had Corey Wooten standing up trying to bring him down. 13 yards to the rookie tight end.
Corey Wooten, New Jersey boy. Good job. Brian Urlacher. Haven't heard from him much today. Coming on the blitz. Nice job. Green Ellis. If you're going to go low and try to get guys like Brian Urlacher, you've got to wait to the last second. Otherwise, if they anticipate it all, they just go right over the top of you.
First down, New England. Green Ellis hoping something develops, and it does. Could have been a loss, ends up being a positive play. Give him 2. Brady has just moved past actually Jason Campbell in this game into 3rd position all time in a single season, most consecutive throws without a pick.
Well, he could possibly break this next week.
Yep. Next week when they'll be hosting Green Bay.
Rich Gannon in front of him, CBS guy, who there for a while with the Raiders. Oh my gosh, were they good at throwing the football.
There's a defensive play made by Peppers.
I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, Welker, that pass, it's incomplete, but you can see how the wind influenced that one.
Man, that was a Wilbur Wood special there, big
yeah,
boy.
That's right, a little
That thing,
knuckleball.
it went out there and it dipped, not just it dipped feet. Look at that. Oh, he jumped. It was a knuckleball. And that's when I even said that a couple times today. You could go out there and get unlucky, go to kick a field goal and get one of these wind gusts and have no chance. That described that throw that time with the wind.
4th down, they're not going to go for the 46-yard field goal on these swirling winds. They'll go for it on 4th and 11. Chicago 28-yard line. All kinds of time. Gets it away to Hernandez. It won't be enough for the first. So the Bears will take over on downs. 2:40 to go, 3rd quarter. New England 36-7. Jim Nance, Phil Simms back here at Soldier Field. It continues to snow. The wind that comes and goes, it swirls at times and gets very gusty out on the field, as we saw that pass that influenced the drop by Welker. But the Patriots have turned it over on down, so it's back to Chicago, which scored the last time it had it. There's Hester racing out of bounds, gain of about 11. Saturday, CBS Sports presents Championships of the NCAA with a fall highlight show presented by LG, 1 Eastern on CBS.
You know, I was really kind of looking forward to today, thinking, man, if this game is tight, to see Jay Cutler, Tom Brady just see who could win the battle of throwing just making plays, throwing the football. Of course, that didn't come about, but
come over to Forte, let him dip too much, and he had James Sanders closing in on him anyway.
I thought it was interesting, though, as we were talking to Lovie Smith this week. He says, man, we were out of practice on Thursday. The wind is just blowing. It's cold as can be. And he goes, I look up. He goes, he's trying to stay warm. And he goes, there's Jay Cutler just throwing it down the field. We're throwing and catching it. It was incredible. And he says, what did he say to Jay Cutler? Jay, does the cold and wind ever bother you? No, coach. I don't know. But Lovie Smith, the point of the story is, he goes, this guy is made to be a Chicago quarterback. He really is, I believe, weather-proof.
There he fires it to Bennett. Very close to the first.
They'll find a way to catch Atlanta.
Atlanta looking like a 1 seed to me right now as Cutler finds his target. Aroma Shadu with the catch. For 16.
It's a good throw and catch, but I think, too, what's important for the Patriots, Arrington, he is right there. And Jay Cutler, just what really is unique about him, doesn't use his body, just stands there, and he's got like an independent arm. That arm is independent of that body, and he can just make it do what he wants it to do. And that was a good shot. You saw the slow motion, the rotation of the football. There's a lot of it. That's one of the big reasons why he can throw in this bad weather.
Yeah, big spinner of the football, isn't he, Phil?
He really is.
That was thrown in the area of Knox, who wanted a hold call, and now it comes out.
Gloves, the official was a little slow just because it's not a late flag. He just couldn't get it out of there because of the gloves.
He couldn't dig it out. It's going to be on Darius Butler. You know, back to that motion by Cutler. I mean, we saw him a lot in Denver when he was even backing up Jake
Pass
Plummer.
interference. Defense number 28. With a spot of a foul, automatic. First down.
You always believed he was a very special talent, Jay Cutler. And but have you ever seen a throwing motion, anything comparable to that move?
No. So you bring it up to me. I haven't really thought about it, but no, it is very unique. And it is, he's always off balance. He never plants his feet. But he was put on earth, and he has a great talent. That's to throw. And he shows it off.
First down off the penalty. Goes to the end zone, and it's knocked down. It was intended for Hester. That's Darius Butler just flagged for the interference, who makes the defensive gem of a play this time.
Again, but here's a good example. When he plants his feet and uses his body, it is, you can tell. And, I always like asking you these questions because you got a pretty good eye for it. You go, it's different. You can tell it.
No question. But it's amazing as how much zip and spin he gets on it without getting his body into it. Because you look at the classical motion of Tom Brady.
Yeah. Body oriented, really gets on what I call on top of it, controls it that way.
There's an interception by Guyton. Guyton with his second takeaway of the game. And the fumble return for the touchdown in the first half. Now with the pick.
Pressure, that's what did it.
Seconds to go, third quarter. The last time New England visited Soldier Field was 10 years and 2 days ago. December 10th, 2000. Bledsoe and Shane Matthews were the quarterbacks.
What happens on the interception? Just not able to even do anything. Couldn't get in, stride into it. A little off balance, and people around his feet makes it come up short.
Then again, Guyton, as we mentioned earlier,
good day today.
To start the day today as Brandon Spikes will serve a 4-game suspension for violating league rules.
Well, that's the other thing. We talked about it a little too today, Jim. It's coaches. Remember the beginning of the year, every time we, of course, never knew who was going to start for the New England defense. And it kept changing, but they created tremendous depth. So something like Spikes, when it happens, hey, things keep on rolling.
The Patriots had come into this game 4 clean games in a row, Phil. Pretty remarkable, without a single giveaway. And now, of course, without one so far today, even in the conditions you think it would be conducive to making mistakes. They've gone 19 quarters without committing a turnover. Hernandez meets for the first time Urlacher, and there is the turnover. Harris has the recovery and down to the 6.
That's an incomplete pass. And if it was complete, I think New England would challenge it.
There's no way that's going to be ruled a completion, but the crowd here thought all the way down to the 6, the Harris run back, it was going to be a legit play for that defense. Boy, Urlacher.
Tom Brady going, don't you remember when I ran by you in that game and you couldn't tackle me?
Urlacher drafted number 9 overall back in the 2000 draft. The same one, of course, so documented so often, where Brady was 199. Urlacher again, number 9.
That was another good example how this defense, when it goes well, they watch the quarterback and they fool you. You think somebody's open. As you let the ball go, they react to you and they make hits like we just saw Brian Urlacher make.
So an incompletion, and 2nd and 10, and that's another one incomplete for Welker. Well, I mentioned that 2000 game when the Bears teed up Shane Matthews at quarterback. Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback of the Patriots. Brady was here. He did not get into the game. Of course, backup duty back then, his rookie season. But he got a whole tutorial about the history of Soldier Field. Coming into this one from Bill Belichick, who loves all that history. He's really good at it, too. All the detail, nuggets, and minutia. He's got it.
You got one, too. He was quizzing you last night.
We went back and forth on that a little bit. He wins. There's Hernandez again, and he holds on for a first to close out the 3rd quarter. So Patriots will still have possession going to the 4th. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Tom Brady today and the weather. Well, like you said, Phil, this isn't a team from Miami. They're not afraid of coming out here to Chicago and playing in the nasty stuff.
You know, I think they have a bubble up in New England. I think they use it every once in a while in the offseason program. But I don't think this team, I think that in all the games we've covered, I think we did go in to watch them practice once or twice.
Yeah, maybe that. But we've seen weather like this up there before, too.
Absolutely.
But that, getting back to this whole lesson on Soldier Field history, and
yes,
Brady had the whole notebook out with all the he had taken
he took all the notes about it. Yeah, it's really cool. I just love that about Bill Belichick, that he, of course, it just loves history, talks about it all the time. It's pretty unique that the players, as they start to listen and learn things, go, wow, that's pretty cool.
You know, Brady on the team charter into Chicago yesterday said he actually was on the internet on the flight, and he was checking out the Soldier Field,
checking out the clocks, where the
clocks are located. They found a website where he could see in great detail what it looked like inside the stadium. And of course, that was supported by, Belichick talking about how it opened at 26.
Where the locker rooms used to be.
Yeah.
The field is.
All the different configurations of Soldier Field through the years. Welker, he tumbles around until he's officially down by Harris. Gain of 13. Look at this. How about tying Don Meredith on this week, just 6 days after we lost the great man? It's going to be.
Well, I'll just say this about Don Meredith. I really actually never met him, even though we did a lot of our Monday night games when I was a player. But we used to watch a lot of tapes, saw him, and pretty dang good thrower of the football.
Pretty entertaining broadcaster, too. One of the great ones. Green Ellis. That's back a little bit.
So real quick, let me give everybody at home a real quick quiz. The Chicago Bears. Why are they called the Chicago Bears?
Well, of course, this is part of what we were getting yesterday from Belichick about how back in those days, in the early years, you used to somehow tie your nickname to the baseball team nickname. So
Chicago Cubs.
George Halas said if they're the Cubs, well, we're football players. We're Bears then.
There you go. And the colors of the uniforms, where'd they come from? Which I'd heard it, but of course I couldn't remember.
Of course, George Halas was a alumnus of the University of Illinois, and their colors were black and orange.
There you go.
George Halas, who was head coach here for over 40 years. And you remember the story we uncovered a few years ago, just on a whim? We asked Belichick if he'd ever met George Halas, because he was on his way to matching or surpassing one of Halas's records for consecutive wins at the time.
Right.
And he actually said, yeah, I actually did. I met him in a locker room at Baltimore one time. My dad took me to see the Colts play the Bears, and I was introduced to him after the game, and he said I was somewhere between 7 and 11 years old. And I walked up to Coach Halas, and I congratulated him on the victory. The Bears had beaten the Colts, and he reached in his pocket and handed me a $1 bill and said, young man, I give $1 to the first person that congratulates me after every game. Who could have ever imagined that you would have that fateful meeting of one of the legendary fathers of the league, and a man one day who, of course, would have this incredible Hall of Fame career of his own.
I think, well, there you see those numbers, the number of wins by Bill Belichick, but the 3 Super Bowls, pretty incredible. And I'm not sure. I think does Coach Belichick still have one more game to catch Mike Holmgren?
It's going to be this one.
He might still have that $1. No, I'm serious.
No.
Did he keep it?
No, he did not keep it.
Oh, he did.
I thought you were making a comment about.
No, he's not cheating.
No. Just want to be sure. He's going to actually move into the top 10, tying Holmgren
right
today.
Longevity.
Now, if you're talking about Mike Arnold, our director, yes, he would have had he been the guy that met George Halas, he would have that first $1.
That's just not right.
Yes, it is right. Just as a keepsake.
That's right.
What else do you think on that? First and 10. Beautiful throw down the field. That was Gronkowski, the tight end, going deep. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense number 82. 10-yard penalty is still first down.
First and 20. That's a catch by Brandon Tate. Wednesday, Showtime, JB, Chris, Warren Sapp, and there you are. Phil Simms on cable's longest running show, the multi-award winning Inside the NFL, every Wednesday on Showtime. This is what it's like down on the field for these guys, okay? It just keeps kicking up.
Kicking up here in the booth.
Yes, it is. That last throw to Tate was good for 12. It's the 2nd and 8. That's Gronkowski pushed back after a gain of about 4.
Well, no, I was just going to say, Rick, you know what you find out in days like today, if you're the Chicago Bears, you think you're good, and you go, wow, okay, you know what? We better go back into work tomorrow, because if we want to be the best, we got a ways to go. And the standard has been changed. And I think all teams, once they lose a game, they realize, okay, we thought we were on our way. We better get back to work and listen to these coaches, because that's the only chance we're going to have.
3rd down and 4. I think there were a lot of people out there, even with this 5-game win streak, that were wanting to check this out today to see if the Bears were for real. As Brady able to hold on to it, Peppers was all over him. Fortunate not to have the ball stripped.
Well, Julius Peppers, they did not want him to be the athlete today. In other words, don't let him just start making plays, get the crowd, get the defense all fired up. And when you see something like this, the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, Tom, heck of a job, baby. Put that big cape on and start thinking about next week here.
Zoltan Mesko.
I'll give you some good examples, too, of why you start thinking about taking him out.
I think that was a good one right there.
Yeah, well,
that last play. So a touchback, just net of 13 yards. minutes to go in Chicago. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms watching the Bears today muster only 115 yards of total offense. Hester.
It's tough, but you know what? I think the Bears are tough.
Taylor picks up a first down.
And then, I was watching our pregame show today and looking at everybody. I hope they're all warm, drinking their hot chocolate back there in the studio, but that's another story. But I heard Bill Cowher say that he thinks the Chicago Bears will lose their last 4 games. And, I can't sit here and go, wow, that's just I don't agree. But there are weaknesses on this football team that would concern you. One of them is protecting Jay Cutler tonight.
That one's incomplete. Just looking at that schedule, next week they're scheduled to play at Minnesota. And of course, yes. Where will that game be played? With the roof collapse at the Vikings home stadium earlier today, forcing their game against the Giants to be played in Detroit tomorrow.
If it's not ready, that I would think they would play it at the University of Minnesota, who is a brand new stadium right by theirs.
And they could be playing in conditions like this. For a second straight week.
Which I really believe would be an advantage to the Chicago Bears. But the Bears are one of those teams that defense can give but make big plays. And they've done a good job this year on offense. What a throw.
That's Earl Bennett. He's got a first down. They move in that game tomorrow. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. The Giants and the Vikings. And, of course, Giants stranded in Kansas City. They start looking at options, and Giants say, wait a minute, we didn't pack, any outdoor gear. So they're going to move the game to Detroit. But, how hard would it have been?
If you're the Eagles or any team that I would be so upset.
Could have traveled the gear in.
Now you're going to play at a neutral site, basically. And you had to play in the Metrodome against Minnesota.
You're saying now, take that game and play it at the University of Minnesota, the new stadium you just mentioned, play it there tomorrow. Have the Giants have almost 36 hours to figure out how to get the kind of outdoor gear you need to play that game. And now maybe Minnesota has they'd have a fan base. They don't like what they're going to have tomorrow.
That's right. And I'm just saying this. You're one of the teams fighting the Giants for a playoff berth. That's my question to you. How would you feel? Now we're going to take the crowd out. Jared Allen doesn't have the crowd to help him in the pass rush, to all the things that it can cause.
And Cutler on first down. He had Bennett waiting on him down at the 10-yard line.
Well, that's a beautiful throw down the field, getting time. And I think this is what he kind of envisioned today, but what a throw by Jay Cutler.
That ball was getting buffeted in the wind a little bit. Wobbling as Arrington is down for a moment. Look at the backdrop there. Wind being, forced throughout. Snow being swept around, and an injury timeout. 6:58 to play. All right, the Bears have the ball on the New England 10-yard line. Maybe it is cold outside. And a little colder for the home crowd today with this Patriots blitzkrieg. As Cutler goes in zone, and it's batted away by James Sanders. Bennett, the receiver.
We've talked about it quite a few times today, but when you watch the Patriots, some of the players, Patrick Chung last week, really making a lot of good plays. Darius Butler did a good job and then there's James Sanders, steady, reading the quarterback, knocking the football down.
Arrington, remember he was banged up, set out one play, now returns. On second down, Cutler breaks away from the pass. Now throws, and he's intercepted by Merriweather in the end zone. England takes over again. Four Chicago turnovers, one of which was a fumble and a run back for a touchdown. .6:31 to go, and Green Ellis plows ahead for about a yard. You know, it's an interesting matchup. Belichick against Mike Martz and Lovie Smith. It was Martz, the head coach, back that first time that Belichick and the Patriots won the Super Bowl down in New Orleans. And that high-powered Rams attack got compromised. The run back by Ty Law for a touchdown, and that one, it all ended with Vinatieri winning it with the field goal, 20-17, beginning the Patriot dynasty. And of course, that game, by the way, was the last game that Pat Summerall and John Madden called together.
That's right.
Great partnership. And on Tuesday night, they both go into the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame in New York on Tuesday night. I look forward to being in attendance to see that great moment with those two gentlemen, those two icons. As Brady is sacked still in there. Brady dropped for a 6-yard loss. Also might add that Davey Finch, our extraordinary cameraman, is also going to be recognized and go into the Hall of Fame at that very same event.
All well deserved. Congratulations, dog. Tom Brady, just a gem, getting hit there. Why I wouldn't have him in there. If you watched the game a few weeks ago, San Diego, Indianapolis, the game is over. Indianapolis comes out trying to get a late score just for whatever reason. First play, Peyton Manning throws it to Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne's laying on the field, and I go, wow, you're talking about your year could be over.
From the 14, Brady down the sideline. Oh, what a catch that is. Brandon Tate lays out for it and pulls it in.
Yeah, again, no, it's all one right there. He gets off so cleanly away from Tillman, makes the fake inside, swims in, uses his hands, and creates just a vacuum for Tom Brady to make the throw down the sideline to him. So
Brady now comes out just after you called for it and after that throw. Brian Hoyer replaces him. Tom Brady 369 yards today, a new season high. Fred Taylor in the backfield. So Hoyer, the second-year man out of Michigan State, gives it to Freddie Taylor, a 13-year man.
Tell you what, Brian Hoyer, I watched him in this wind and snow today. Should have seen him warming up. Couldn't tell him and Tom Brady apart.
And he was undrafted a year ago.
Offside. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. First down, 5 yards to go.
Hoyer. And that's Taylor breaking tackles. Picks up another first down. We approach the 4-minute mark. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Patriots and the Bears, Jim Nantz and Phil Simms here at Soldier Field. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after the game, except on the West Coast. You'll see it at your regularly scheduled time. Patriots have scored in 17 consecutive quarters going into the fourth, which of course they haven't scored, haven't needed anything of the sort to rally today. Down 10-6 in the fourth quarter in that AFC East. Urlacher making another play along with Adonishea and Harris. Gain of about 3. Tom Brady moved into 20th all-time passing yardage in NFL history, moving past Steve DeBerg today. In Clay, by the way, how do you handle the cold weather? He was wearing well, he called it a wetsuit underneath his uniform.
Yeah, he told us about that, I don't know, when, a couple years ago?
Yeah.
You asked him again last night about it.
Yeah. Ever since that remember that divisional playoff game against the Tennessee Titans 7 years ago, he went to wearing what he calls a wetsuit. It's more like it's scuba gear, if you will, as Woodhead gets the first down. Some may call it like a surfer's outfit, but he says, man, it is tight to the skin, doesn't take up a lot of bulk, and it keeps me warm.
We should have had them on under our shirt.
Yeah, we've got to get those for next time. No question. So we reached the 2-minute mark. 36-7, New England all the way. You know, you go back to 1975, and Bill Belichick was, at the time, a special assistant to Ted Marchibroda with the Baltimore Colts. The first game, now he's only making like $50 a day. His first game was a game at Soldier Field in 1975. They traveled him here for that game. And there's also a guy, by the way, in the Bears making a debut that day by the name of Walter Payton. How about a nod here to the remarkable men and women on our crew here, our technical crew, battled through it. They're out here and it's setting up all day yesterday, crack of dawn this morning, all through the day, and they're not able to move around. It's not easy. At least you're out there playing in it, you can stay warm.
Well, we saw a lot of them. We came in early this morning. They were all, everybody was in the tunnel. It's almost like you got to get yourself psyched up for it, of course. It's Bob Wishney down there.
Malty Sherwood.
Hard to tell who's who because they're covered up well.
I barely recognized you up here in the booth, man. You got so many layers on.
Yes. Hey.
Pete Calander and your crew, outstanding as always.
And of course, we appreciate everybody's hard work, especially in conditions like this. And, you know, another outstanding effort by the Patriots, too.
5 straight wins for New England. 5 straight wins and 5 straight games without a turnover. Incredible. Led it 33-0 at halftime. And they go on to demolish the Bears today at 36-7. 11-2 on the year. Brady now 19 touchdowns since his last interception. Just an incredible stretch of his own. So the final score is New England 36 and Chicago 7. Coming up 60 minutes, followed by the finale of Amazing Race. New episodes Undercover Boss CSI Miami. For Phil Simms and all the crew, Jim Nance saying so long from Chicago. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. Let's go to James Brown in New York.